right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ref Room. I am Scott Smokin Silz, along with our referee-in-chief locally here in the Chicagoland area, Brad Baumruck. Coming off the holiday weekend, what a weekend it was. Lots of tournaments, lots of excitement. How was your weekend, my friend?
It was good, and I totally was looking for some email that I can't find, and that was definitely me in the background there, because I forgot that people can hear us again, because you haven't fixed that.
No, so. I think I actually muted you. I think you're okay. I think you got away with that one.
Well, if I didn't, my apologies. That was not intentionally done. So,
yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear some background noise. Normally it comes from Brad's place, but today it's coming from my place. We had some plumbing issues over the past week, and now they're drying everything out. So it's been a crazy week. Busy. Not only busy hockey, busy for me with a lot of shows and stuff. So, I mean, this was just a super crazy weekend, but got a chance to work some nice games. I'm sure you did as well, and you probably worked a lot more of them than I did, because, no, you didn't work a lot more than I did. Well, that's good. Well, let's do this. I always like to start with NHL, just real briefly, just to kick it off. What are you hearing about Corey Perry?
I saw the rumor that's going on.
Was that regarding a mom's trip, maybe? Was there a mom's trip with the Hawks? Is that what you're referring to?
That's what I heard. I don't think I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, interesting. Hockey players will be hockey players. That's all I can say. Boys will be boys. But I don't know if he's looking for a trade now or what the deal is. But, Hawks probably have to do something based on the problems that they had in the past.
That could just be some horrible rumor that someone
It could.
So
might have come from my men's league. My men's league team may have started that rumor,
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
You just don't know. Anyway, if you have any ideas, you can put them in the comments. Catch us up if you know something. We got a lot of hockey insiders that watch this show.
I think one thing is, Connor Bedard, has got his 10 goals.
Is he up to
17 games? I mean,
wow.
That's pretty good. He's tied, I think, with Austin Matthews, so that's pretty good there.
I'm curious how much ice time he's getting based on, we all thought as a rookie, 18 years old, they may play you in select games. They may not utilize you fully. I mean, this guy's playing top hours, top time. He is playing like a regular, experienced NHL player. He's getting his minutes. I don't even know how many minutes he plays a game, but he's obviously playing on the first line, and he's out there all the time. He's on the power play. I don't know if he's on the kill. I haven't seen enough games to know that, but look, we all had dreams and hopes for him coming here, going, he's going to save our Blackhawks and, take us to another level. And, I'm sure there's a lot of hype that was attached to that, and a lot of optimistic people just, please be the next Michael Jordan of hockey. And to be honest with you, this guy's delivering it. I can't imagine how much pressure he has on him at age 18, coming in, expected to be a miracle worker. And, let's not kid ourselves. He came in, and I'm not going to say he struggled, but, the points didn't come immediately. It wasn't like, hey, I've arrived. Here's my 3-goal game to start us off. Well, he was out there for a lot of games working really hard, trying to get on the board, and now it's happening. So I love it.
Well, they did also have, one of the toughest schedules in, Blackhawks histories to start out. So let's not, throw our change at him all at once while he's skating by us.
You bring up a great point, because that was a really tough schedule, going on the road, going up against all the top teams in the league, going up against the Stanley Cup champions. That was quite a, plus they went to Canada. They played 2 games in Canada when you're playing in Toronto and Montreal. I mean, those are tough games automatically, being on the road. So, yeah, they really did start with a tough schedule. So, yeah,
really tough.
Like I said, I figured they would be competitive in a lot of games this year. That's not something that they were last year. They're competitive. But, now I really think they have to get serious because I think we have 3 years with him, if I'm not mistaken. And somebody can correct me in the comments on this because I'm not an expert on this stuff and the salary cap and the contracts. But I think we've got him locked for 3 years where we probably still have him after that, but we have to pay him, which means that we're going to have fewer players available to come play with him. Right now, I mean, if they're getting more than their money's worth out of him right now. They're making money like crazy with him because he's putting butts in the seats and people on TV across the league, across the country, across the North America continent. But the fact of the matter is, now if they got serious, they're not making the playoffs this year, I don't think. I mean, it would be a very big surprise to me, and nobody expects that. But I think next year they're thinking that if they can get enough players together to be good enough to support him, that they can make the playoffs next year and not be out early. So I think, they really have to start thinking about making some moves to get that team together for next season. And, that's a big ask.
I'm definitely not the one that's building this team. I mean, I think they got enough minds.
You're not the Dale Talon of Iowa?
No, definitely not. I mean, I'm just saying, I think they got the minds. I think they know what they got going on, and I think they have a goal. I mean, you just got to find all the right pieces, and not only that, think about it this way. There are pieces out there that might be locked up in contracts.
Yeah.
So you may have to wait for some of them to get free. There's going to be players that may want to come and play with him. You got a lot of things that could happen, especially if they are able to get good here in the next season.
Yeah.
This season.
I'm sure some guys would probably be willing to come here and play for a little less because they're still going to make good money. Let's not kid ourselves. They're making retirement money. But if they could come here and play with somebody like that and really have a chance at making a run at a Stanley Cup or 2 or 3 during the course of a career, I think that would be really something. But hey, there's a lot of great players out there. Let's look at Ovechkin. How long did it take for him to get a Stanley Cup? I mean, there's no guarantee.
Forever.
Even if you're putting 50 goals on the board and leading your team, there's nothing that says you're getting a Stanley Cup. So.
That's true.
Look at Connor McDavid doesn't have a Stanley Cup, and he's arguably the best player in hockey. Austin Matthews has to be considered one of the best players in hockey. They're lucky to finally get out of a playoff round, right? I mean,
exactly.
It's no joke when it's a different game.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's a different game when you get to playoffs, and that's what. People don't always realize. It's 2 different seasons. It's 2 different styles. Like, I think the NHL is quote unquote soft during the regular season. You get some room. They're not going to kill you. Come playoffs, I'm sorry, different game. Different guys are the stars in the playoffs because they play a different style of hockey, and they play rough, they play tough, and you may not be used to that. That may be a total change to your lifestyle. You may not want to get beaten up every night, but you're going to get beat up every night. And, it's just the way the game is. That's why, playoff hockey used to be how hockey was all the time. Now it's like 2 different seasons. Basketball's got something kind of interesting going on. I don't follow basketball, but they've got like this inter-tournament going on. That's really not a bad idea. And when you consider, what did they play in the NHL? They play 84 games or 70-some games. I don't know what the number is before the playoffs. They play a lot. 86. 86 means you're out, right? Is that when you're out of something? 86? That's the code word for out. But anyway.
We're going to 86 you in a second here.
Exactly. Well, with 86 games, I don't think that would be a bad idea to have a mid-season tournament, just like all of our teams in hockey growing up, our high school tournaments. Everybody has tournaments that they go to and attend. I think that could be a pretty cool thing to have, like maybe not everybody in one tournament, not like a big Stanley Cup, but maybe a divisional tournament or a switch over east to west where you almost like they break up different, like a whole different division to do the tournament, I think that could be kind of cool. That would give a little more interest to a lot of games that may not have as much, and it may, get the players more in a playing mood than, like, oh man, it's game 45. Like, does this really mean anything for us? So I think that's a pretty cool idea, and I think that's something maybe the NHL should look at.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I'm kind of with you for it. So
yeah,
I wouldn't be opposed to seeing something interesting like that.
Yeah.
So, but, how would you go about it? And especially with, like, hockey standings. I don't even know how they're doing it for their basketball. I guess they just probably scheduled it through.
You could look at the rankings of the teams, and just say, hey, top 8 teams are going to play, and the bottom 8 teams are going to play, and the middle 8 teams or whatever it is will play. And it's like we got 3 tournaments, and maybe we have a crossover, or they seed them out just like a tennis tournament. You go 1 through 32, and they break them out, and eventually somebody plays for an inter-squad championship or something.
Hey, let me go. Hold on here. Hold on.
You gonna look at the basketball way of doing things?
Yeah, of course. I got nothing better to do with my life.
All I know is the Bulls were out of that pretty quickly. So.
All right, so
if you're bad, you're bad.
Tips off Friday, November 3rd, and will culminate with the championship on December 9th. The championship, blah, blah, blah. All 30 teams have been randomly drawn into 5 groups within their conference based on blah, 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 win-loss records. 1 game against an opponent, 2 games on the road. Oh, so it looks like you're knocked out. So 8 teams will advance to the knockout rounds. So first they do a seeding, then they're going to have a knockout. Where it looks like...
Well, the Bulls are gone, in case you're looking for that. The Bulls are long gone.
No, I don't care that much. So,
yeah.
But I was just curious on, like, what they were doing with it. Like, because, like, I would think basketball is maybe a little easier to put all together, to get all the teams together. I don't know how hard it would be for hockey, with ice rinks and all kinds of stuff like that. I have no idea, but... Just, it's an interesting idea. I'm with you 100%. So, but I don't think it's. Well,
they could obviously before the season starts, they could block out a chunk of time that they're going to do this tournament, and know that they've got the buildings, they got somewhere to send somebody. It's they're good to go. What's to say that the championship game has to be played in the building of those 2 teams? Why?
Right, yeah, playing someplace else. That's what that's.
Maybe Boston and New York came to Chicago to play, or Boston and New York go to L.A. and play in a championship game, or something of that. That would be kind of cool. What says that you have to be in your own buildings? That might be even better for the NHL. Wow, like people would, I think people would pay to see a couple of original 6 teams come in. A Toronto-Montreal game in Chicago, you don't think that would sell out?
I think it would sell out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would.
I think it would sell out even before you had the teams.
Exactly.
Just because of the idea. But anyways, let's move on to referee stuff. So, there was something that you wanted to ask me that I had brought up to you before the show.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
I'll explain how all that works, and then we can talk about that.
Okay, so I got an email this week. I've never gotten one before. Yes. I'm 12 years deep, and I got an email from USA Hockey.
You got one last year.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
It went in your spam. Yes, it did.
It's still there. It's still there. It's still there then, okay? And it will remain there.
It still is.
It's buried.
That's where it is.
But anyway, I got a letter that asked if I was interested in working what I thought it said was women's nationals, girls nationals.
No.
Brad says it's for everything, which is fine.
It says it's 2024. It came out Friday the 24th. Why we chose Black Friday for this to come out, I have no idea. Not like any of us were sitting in our computers looking for it.
To make sure that the people like me would not see the email, that I would have deleted it. And somehow I actually kept one because it said USA Hockey on it.
So all 3 fours got the email. It's the national interest. It's for anybody that is interested to work a national event. So what they did is they sent out this interest letter in order to find out if there are people that are interested. So what happens is if you're interested in it, you go in, you fill out. I think there's a little thing in here, if I remember correctly. Click here to submit.
Yeah, there's a little form that you fill out.
Yep, you just fill out your form, then it goes to USA Hockey, then USA Hockey takes that and sends it out to all the districts. So the surrounding districts and then the district RICs disperse them to who they think would be the best in the area to assist in getting these names looked at and, people's abilities judged for where they currently stand. So, like I said, these do come out. They came out every year. I believe this is the third year. The first year, I didn't get one. Well, I thought I didn't get one. But I did find it. It was in my Google spam. I know last year, so that year I marked the email address, which it comes from communications@usahockey.com.
That's interesting because I think I got like 3 or 4 Black Friday 20% discounts from USA Hockey too. So, make sure you're looking for the right email because
it comes from communications@usahockey.com, and it unfortunately, if you want to get it, you're going to have to, say yes to that email address, and you're going to get the Black Friday deals in your email. Sorry to tell you, you're going to get those. But, it comes out. You got to keep your eyes out for it. It does have a very small window to where you can actually get this turned in, just so you're aware of that. You do have to be complete. It does have all the eligibility into it. Once you click into what you have to do.
You have to agree to all kinds of terms.
Well, yeah, so the other thing is too, like if you're, flying from Alaska, right?
Yeah, you get $250.
Boston, Massachusetts. And it's not going to be cheap for you on the front side. You're going to end up spending more than that $250. Yeah. Also, if you're driving, they have all kinds of stuff that that plays into it that you can look at and evaluate. So what happens is once these do get sent out, then the names get bounced around. USA Hockey ultimately has the final say on who is picked, where they go, all those things. So if you don't go, and you're wondering why, you can reach out to your local. It may be right at your local level that they'll tell you straight up, hey, no offense. You still need to work on this, and this. We'll consider you for the future. Or, you're Scott, and, I just don't like you. So, but it's just one of those things. Like, hey, sometimes locals have their own.
Should I take that as my response now? Or are you going to wait to deliver it again?
No. I'm just kidding with you, Scott, because you're on.
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm just saying there could be something that you maybe need to work on. That if you say something to somebody, or you even put in for this, and they didn't know you were planning on going, they may send you some notes on what you need to work on. Hey, I think you should work on this, and this. Your personality is good. This is good. Work on these things and keep trying. So it might be a good thing for you to put in for it. Now, if you're putting in for it because the USA Hockey Nationals U18s and U16 Tier 1s are in Las Vegas, Nevada this year, you're probably putting in for it for the wrong reason. Okay? So just so everybody
And again,
knows,
it will cost you more than $250.
Depends on your inability to win at the tables. 21, but no.
The clubs are expensive there, okay? And so are the drinks, just so you know.
Well, I just wanted everybody to know that it did come out. If you didn't get it, check your spam folder for USA Hockey. Allow emails from that email address. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people have it turned off because you do get, promotional stuff from USA Hockey. They have companies that send out advertisements through it and stuff like that. So I get where people turn it off, but you got to have it enabled. So go mark it in your Outlook, like I did. Mark it in your Google. This is never spam.
Hello.
Get it marked up so that, I'm here. You're screwing with everything. That's the problem.
No, I'm trying to. There you go. Now you look like you joined the show.
So just get that put in if you're interested, and then reach out to your local.
Is that the bad Brad or the good? Is that the good Brad or the bad Brad?
Let your local know that you are interested, though. That would be number one. It's tough when we do have a lot of people's names, and sometimes we just, for whatever reason, you don't think of somebody's name. You're like, I know I'm forgetting somebody. Then you get an email from them. You're like, that's the person I was thinking of. You just couldn't think of their name. So, if you're interested, reach out, ask. Ask your local assigner. They'll be the one that probably can help you out. If they can't help you out, reach out to the district RIC. They'll definitely help you out in your area.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you have to be evaluated to go? Do you have to get a local evaluation, or do you have to get a somebody to sign off on your going? Is for everybody that's going.
So, well, you are ranked by the people that put in your area. So remember, if you have dreams of going to it, and let's say you work in an area that has 75 guys that are interested in going to it, and of those 70 guys, 50 of them work NCAA Division I college hockey. Think about where you might rank on that list. So, it's just one of those realistic things because.
So does Northwest House have a national tournament?
Northwest Travel, sir.
Northwest Travel. Do they have a? Yeah.
Let's get your things proper here.
Right.
So, but just put where your abilities are. I mean, if you can't skate backwards, guess what? All the games are 4 officials. 4. Lining, reffing, you skate backwards. Learn how to skate backwards. If you drop the puck and you can't figure out how to not present the puck, probably going to have some problems there with their evaluations because it's the USA Hockey Standard. Learn how to drop a puck properly. Just little things like that go a long way. The skating backwards is a big thing. Let's put it that way. So it is interesting. It's a good time. You do meet a lot of different officials from different areas. You might learn something from some other people. You might learn different ways of going about things. You might get, paired with somebody that's done 5 national events before. They may have an approach to something a little differently than you do, maybe the response to an evaluation. Because every game is evaluated, you do have feedback, doesn't matter who you are. Some people don't particularly like that. Well, guess what? You're here. You're part of the process. Get used to it. Yeah. It's just like you're part of the process. If they still do it, I think they do. Everybody's randomly inserted into the USA Hockey drug testing pool, and they pull participants from it in order to see if people using steroids or other drugs. Hey, you're there. You're reffing. Just so you know. Your name could get pulled.
Referee performance enhancements.
Well, they're not looking just for that, Scott. But I do believe they still do that. I was actually at one of these once. Oh, God, it was a lot of years ago. And my lines person partner pulled for it. And they're like, hey, just so you know, it was him and the scorekeeper, oddly enough, in the same game.
Scorekeeper, wow.
They put every participant's name in it. Everybody's registered to USA Hockey, and they're doing research. They want to make sure that the athletes and everybody involved in the games are hopefully doing their best top notch, and they want to see where there could be problems, because if there's a problem in the community, they might be able to offer some assistance in that community as well. So they're doing these things for multiple reasons. Yeah. So just putting that out there. So you can't refuse it, or else guess what? You're not participating in that program again. So, and you're out there. They do put you up normally into, a mid-level hotel, and, they pay
Super
for
8.
that, the one.
Super 8, Motel 6.
No. I've never been to a Super 8 Motel 6. No. But, they are spending quite a bit of money. Every local that you go into, that you work, just so you know, if you are there, every person that's there, other than you and the coaches in most places, and maybe the scorekeepers, if not, everybody else is volunteer.
So they bring the scorekeepers in too. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. That's That's neat.
So like, let's say Chicago said that they were going to do it. I would have to get everything together for it, or have a club that would get it all together for it. They would have all the scorekeepers, penalty bench attendants, everything. It's all done by volunteers.
Cool.
So, and they feed you well at these things too. So I'll be the first one to admit that. You do get, especially if you're in some nice places. Like I was in Texas one year. I loved it. We had barbecue every day for lunch. So, and I'm a barbecue nut. So, but, if you're going, have a good time. Just remember it is serious. Seriously, like it is the top of the pyramid. These teams have practiced all year. They've played all year. They've come out to represent, maybe you're even your own local. It's definitely a pinnacle. It's a big thing. So get out there, work hard. And if you're interested, seriously, send back a response to that email. If you didn't get the email, check your spam.
I think you're required to attend a meeting while you're there, probably some meetings, and then you also have to be dressed appropriately. I don't know what the actual, not uniform, but the dress code for.
It depends on what they ask of you with the supervisors, also the meetings. I know that the year that I did it a couple years ago, because of how many people were out of state, they just did it via Zoom. I know that they do it sometimes when you're there. Another big thing is it's a big time commitment. You're expected to be there. I believe you have to get in Tuesday night, and you cannot leave till after the final Monday. So you do have to take off a big chunk of change for work.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. Well, that's great information. So anybody that's interested in it, if you're a 3 or a 4, you should have received that email. I know you've told me I've gotten them before. I've never seen one. This is the first time I ever saw one, and I was kind of shocked when I looked at it because normally Black Friday, my email is like everybody else's. I just start hitting delete on everything. Looks like we've got some comments coming in here. It looks like we must be getting popular because we're starting to get spammed, I guess. So we won't even bother to go through that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to throw something else out at you. You got anything else that you want to cover with regard to that before we move on to a different topic that you don't even know about yet? This one will be a surprise topic to you. I know you love surprises.
He's going, oh boy. Does not cover hip replacements, so if that's what you're looking for, that's wear and tear on the old body there, buddy.
No, I'm good. Hips are good. I did actually have one sore the other day, but no, I'm good. No, here's what I was going to come up with. I actually wanted to bring this up to Gino Cavallini when we had him on the show a couple weeks ago. A lot of the teams have deals with the equipment manufacturers, and I would have really liked to have found out more about that. I don't know how much you know about that. I know your wife's involved with the Huskies. Do they have a deal with equipment manufacturers to get like team gloves or a discount on skates or whatever equipment? Because I don't think
we get any discounts.
I know some of the tier ones have a deal, right? And I've seen a lot of the tier ones like.
I don't know.
Start of the season, like they're putting all the gloves in the locker room. Everybody's getting their new gloves from a manufacturer.
Well, a lot of the times, most of that is done in order to have uniformity.
Right.
So that's just part of your fees. You're paying for those gloves. You're getting gloves every year, and it's coming from a different manufacturer. I don't know if they get. But when we look at some of our other referees at the higher levels that are working in different leagues, they have the ability to buy like skates at a discount. They can buy certain uniforms at a discount. And I'm wondering if that's something that we could do through IHOA as a group. We've got over 1,500 officials now. Is that something that we could get a task force to look into, to try to see if we could buy at a better rate? We need somebody that knows an equipment dealer. That's what we need. Somebody that physically sells it to pro shops.
Well, we just got some thumbs up for that. So do you guys like that idea? People, I'd love to see your comments. But I was thinking about this. It's like all these other leagues, they offer some discounts out. We got 1,500 guys. Why should we not be able to, purchase whatever brand of jersey or pants or skates that we want to buy or a helmet at some sort of a reduced price instead of paying full retail like we have to.
So the one thing I would say, though, is those leagues that they're working have capital that they may actually offset that cost for those officials and may make it up to that equipment manufacturer. Really? Yep.
I would think those equipment manufacturers would want to see their brand on as many people as possible. You know, whether that be CCM or Bauer or, Warrior, whatever the case may be. But I mean, I'm sure everybody would like to see a CCM helmet or a Bauer helmet or a Warrior helmet with their name on it on all the people out there if they can. So I'm just wondering if that's something that we could look into.
Well, you wouldn't know what helmet I wear anyways because I black out all the names.
So you're Brad Baumruck. I wear my logo proudly up there. I know at Nationals you have to put some electrical tape over it and cover up the names. I get that. But it's just a thought. It's something I wanted to throw out there. And I'm really sorry we didn't bring that up when we had Gino on the show. But we were so busy that day with so much going on. But, just food for thought. And we got a lot of thumbs up for that idea, by the way. Okay. So,
if I can find an equipment dealer, we can ask them. That'd be the place to start.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know.
Well, I mean, they, all these companies have a rep. At least they used to. I remember, what was his name? Amonte used to be the CCM rep here in Chicago. And I think he took care of like Notre Dame or whatever. I think it was, CCM. CCM, or was he, I think he was CCM. Or Reebok. CCM was Reebok. CCM and Reebok worked together at the time. So, anyway, getting one of those guys. Yeah, I'd love to find out about that. That's something we got to look into. So, just an idea. Now, just to give you a heads up, we will be off next week. No show next week, folks, because we have a dinner to attend. So we will not be here next week. So we will be here. Hopefully, I don't think Brad will be here in 2 weeks either. He's got 2 dinners to attend. He's got another one after that. So I don't think I made the cut for that. So not getting my McDonald's meal that night. But so we will be back in 2 weeks, and I'll probably have to have a guest on that. So if you guys have an idea of who you'd like on the show or what we should talk about, love to hear it. If you guys want to send me an email or send me something in the comments, that would be fantastic, and we'll try to put something together and make that happen. Really nice weekend. Got to work a couple really good games. Again, pretty busy. I didn't get to work as many games as I normally do because of work commitments, but have anything exciting on your end that you want to share?
I didn't skate.
You didn't skate all those tournaments this weekend? I thought you always skated the O'Grady.
It was the first time since I was 19 I didn't skate the O'Grady tournament.
Wow.
I was with my kids. I went up north. We went to Michigan and we played in the CCM Nations. I think they called it the Nations Cup.
Okay.
And
how'd they do?
I'll explain how it worked. It was cool. So what it was is in our division there were 9 Canadian teams and there were 9 teams from the U.S. And they all played 4-game seeding round. And at the end of each day, each game was a certain amount of points. So each day, the USA won that day or the Canada won. So the Canadian teams all played U.S. teams, and the U.S. teams all played Canadian teams in their 4 seeding round games. So our boys played the 4 games. They won the first 3, and they tied the last one against the same team. So after that, they had a winner of the seeding rounds, either USA or Canada, right? And that's all 9 teams. So you could still be a winner even if you lost all 4 of your games in the seeding round. You could still be considered a winner if everybody else did really good. And then the final day, which was Sunday, they took all 9 teams, and 1 played 1, 2 played 2, 3 played 3, 4 played 4, all the way down. U.S., Canada. They wore U.S. and Canada jerseys the whole time.
Ah,
so they did
more
that.
swag. More swag.
It was. I'm sure we paid for it. But,
I know you did.
But our boys played in the number 1 seed game on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
And unfortunately, the team that they tied the night before 2-2, and they got their heads handed to them. But it was a lot of fun. They had fun, but some days that just happens. 5 games for Pee-wees is awesome. Difficult. But yeah, I was dad. I just hung out. And
how long were the periods?
Thanksgiving out of town. 14 minutes.
14-minute periods. Yeah. Yeah. It was interesting because the O'Grady has the O'Grady tournament, which I always refer to as the Loyola tournament. If you guys are watching, so the format there is once you hit 5 goals, a 5-goal lead, the clock runs until somebody gets it down, and that can be in the first period. You're shaking your head. What are you shaking?
Until somebody gets it. It runs the rest of the game.
No, not anymore. If you got below 5 goals, it stopped. They did change it. But I will tell you, that's a great format. I had one that I think with about 3 minutes left in the first period, we were already on running clock for the rest of the day. That was sweet, especially after being in the middle for one.
Well, so those games, they're so backed up to each other at those rinks because they fit so many in there. One game getting off just wrecks the rest of the day. So they want to keep them moving.
We stayed on time. I think we started late at the first game, but we got it back on time, and I think we were early by the time we finished with that one. So, but it was a nice tournament. Everybody was great. Coaches and players, no issues. Like, guys are playing hockey. I love it. Same thing. I worked the Stevenson tournament, another great tournament. Close games, really good.
Yep.
And again, I go back to, when you have rapport with the people that you're working with, it makes a big difference. So, just keeps everybody knows everybody knows everybody's expectations are where they should be, and it's a great way. And that's why stick around. If you're a 1 or a 2 and you haven't been around a long time, get to know some of these people and, get your face out there and life gets better the longer you do this. It really does. So
that's true. Yep.
We see a lot of stuff posted on social media, about questions and games and situations. And, I think for the most part, when they post them up, I think they do a really good job of trying to explain themselves as to why they're making a call. And I for the most part, I think they're pretty much spot on. I mean, yeah, we get a lot of the people that will chime in there and say, "Oh no, you should have done this," or
Of course.
Of course, all the experts. It's no different in my business. All the experts jump in. They're the ones that don't work, by the way. They're the ones that don't get gigs. So those are usually the ones that chime in the most. But
I hear you.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up on that note. Unless you got anything else you want to add. Again, we will be off next week. Holiday season is already here. I can't believe we're already in December. It feels like the season just started.
I told you the other day when I was talking to you. I'm like, hey, look where it's at. It's already there. And you're like, listen, I can't believe it. I go, it'll be the end of the month before you know it.
Yep.
And it just sure it did. Goes that fast.
I'll give a shameless plug. If you guys like house music, on Monday nights after this show, starting at like 8 o'clock, I do my Twitch show. Come on by. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. If you like house music, you can check it out at twitch.tv/hotmix5. There's my shameless plug.
Hang on. I'm checking my Venmo from your $5 that you owe me. That said.
Oh, I owe you $5 for that now? Yeah, good luck.
You said you.
I heard it ding. It must have come through.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's end it on that and have everybody have a good week. We'll catch back in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. So we'll post it. We'll get something up with a good topic for that, and then I think you're out the following week with another dinner. So we'll figure it out, and that gets us a couple more thumbs up. Maybe because we're talking about dinner, or maybe because we're talking about taking off a week. We get a thumbs up. Yeah.
All right.
Because I'm not going to be on there.
Yeah, from Chicago. It is Brad Baumruck, the referee-in-chief locally here, and I am Scott Smokin Silz. Again, normally Mondays, 5:30 Central Time, right here. Next week off, and we'll see you soon. So check out the replays. They're up there on YouTube/RefRoom, youtube.com/RefRoom. All the replays are up. You can learn something. We do cover some great topics, and we get some good guests. So go back and look at some of the other episodes if you haven't had a chance to check them out. And with that, we'll see you in 2 weeks, everybody. Have a good one. Peace out.